Welcome to Grumpy Old Avatars with your hosts, Phaylen Zerator, Deucer Dragonash, and Slim Warrior.
Well, good evening, everybody. Or maybe it's good afternoon, or maybe it's good morning, or if you're in Australia, it's probably good tomorrow. Anyhow, welcome to the latest edition of the Grumpy Old Avatars. This is the end of the week Friday wind-down show where we moan and groan about everything that's gone by during the previous week and anything that's else on our mind, really. Once again, you may notice I'm temporarily, at least, minus one of our wonderful hosts. Deucer Dragonash has been a bit delayed, but hopefully will be joining us later in the show. Meanwhile, of course, I am joined, as always, of course, by good old Slim Warrior. Hi, Slimmy.
Hello.
Oh, yes, she is with us. Hi, Slimmy. And we have two very special guests on the programme tonight to join in with our moaning groaning session. First of all, we have Wytchwhisper. Who, it's hard to say what she does. She does a bit of fashion design. She does a bit of machinima work. She is also an actor, or actress, I should probably say, and a singer, and Lord knows what else. So, hi, Wytchwhisper.
Hi, Mel.
And we are also joined by no less than she's one of Second Life's oldest residents. She was back on the Second Life grid back when I believe it was called Lindenville or something like that. But she's also very an amazingly hilarious comedy series she did, again in the machinima field, called Divas, and it's Phaylen Fairchild. Welcome, Phaylen.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, the next question, of course, you're just dying to know what we've got on our minds this week. Well, as you can see, yesterday's minds were all full of turkeys, and I have been joined by my pet turkey. My cat isn't with me today, so I brought along the pet turkey. However, I do warn you, everybody in the audience included, because you can be a bit unruly, that I am vegetarian, and any attempts to shoot at my turkey will not be welcomed. So there. Anyway, without further ado, to introduce tonight's topics, it's Slimmy.
Tonight's turkeys, you mean? Oh, sorry, did you say topics? I think you said, let's talk about tonight's turkeys.
I did actually say topics, Slimmy.
Sorry, it's just my hearing. Yes, today's topic, starter for Grumpy Old Avatars, is one thing that's actually bugged me for quite a long time, is captchas. The little things that you have to write in to prove that you're a human being and not a robot. It seems to be an ever-increasing number of websites. Whoopsie, sorry, that's some rubbish falling over in my room. Sound effects.
Just moving her arms.
That's what I think of captchas. I do find it terribly annoying because some websites that you can go to, if you need to leave a comment on something or for whatever reason you need to go to that website, require that you fill out one or two words. But there are a lot of different systems, and some of them you can literally refresh the captcha so that you can actually read the words, and it becomes more and more difficult. And it doesn't matter how many times you try new words and type them in, it will then return the page and say, you didn't do it properly. And after about 15 times, and I think that actually MySpace was one of the first places to do it, if you wanted to add a friend or a band that you liked. And I just find it incredibly frustrating is why they can't use one system with words that you can actually read instead of all these squiggly bits where, the U looks like a V, or you can't see whether the number 3 is an 8 because it's all squished up to a B. Really, really very irritating. And I'm sure, and particularly for musicians who want you to add them as a fan on their website, that they must actually lose quite a lot of people that way who just simply can't be bothered to do it. And I don't know whether I'm the only one here on the sofa this evening.
Well, They annoy the hell out of me too. I mean, there is sort of good reason for them, and to avoid spammers and optical character recognition and everything else. But they are really annoying. Some of them, they're totally illegible. How about everybody else?
Isn't there a more logical resolve for something like that? I'm especially when the words are like 11 letters and numbers long, and you're having to get your magnifying glass and decipher what it says. I quite enjoy the riddles, the ones that ask you, what color is the grass, that you have to put in an answer.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I like those so much better because there's nothing involved. There's no really thinking, unless you live in Alaska or something. I suppose that might be hard.
There's no squinting at the keyboard required.
Well, it's just if you have dyslexia or something like that, you have a hard enough time trying to type stuff in. Let alone if they're adding a whole bunch of weird crap that you have to add. That just makes it 20 times worse.
It becomes more frustrating as well, doesn't it? Because you keep typing and you keep looking at the keyboard, and then you look at the screen, and then you look at the keyboard and make sure you're pressing exactly the letters as you see them, and then you press return to put in your comment, and it says it's wrong, so you have to do it all over again.
You'd think some people would be doing captcha rage videos or something somewhere, because they have all those videos about people getting upset about losing their password. They have to have videos somewhere about people getting upset because of captchas, and if not, there's a good idea. That's true. I like that idea.
Some of them, somebody pointed out in the audience just now as well, and I've seen a few of them, the ones that use maths, add 4 and 7 and give the answer. That makes sense.
If they do math, I'm doomed. You'll be all alone. I'll be all alone. That's right.
I find it. I think the thing that they used to have on some of the sites also is you'd have to fill out a form. So you put in your name and your details or your address, or if you're paying for something, your account number, and you fill out the whole form, and that takes quite a bit of time to do. And then you get the captcha at the bottom, and you get it wrong, and it clears the whole form. So you've got to do it all over again.
All over again. Oh, I hate that. That drives me insane. Actually, I lose my mind.
But it makes you wonder, why have they designed the site to do that? I mean, are they so petrified it's going to be a bot, that's going to do something? I mean, I do think that they should obviously have the security in place, but to clear a form and make you do it all again. And you're right, as Double Downs just said in the audience, if it gets too complicated, you just don't ever go to that site ever again.
Well, you don't join for sure. I mean, if you can see stuff on the site without joining, you'll just do that instead. Because it's no, because if I try to join, it drives me insane. I'm not going to do that. Well, it's almost embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, because if you stop and think about it, the smarter that these bots are getting that auto post and that these people are creating these captchas to avoid, the dumber we're getting. Because it's getting harder and harder for us to figure them out. And that's frustrating to try to decipher. Next thing you know, we're going to have to be decoding hidden images and use it, seriously, find what are those, Pogo, find an item in this hidden picture.
Oh, yes.
I was just thinking they'll probably end up selling us software to do the decoding,
Yeah, exactly.
A scanner thing where you can't do anything unless you've downloaded decoder software.
It's preposterous. It really is, and it slows you down. On the internet, we're used to getting sort of instant satisfaction. We want to get where we're going, and we want to get there as quickly as possible in as few clicks as necessary, and that always is like a major hang-up. So it's like a lag spike. It's like frustrating foreplay, is what you're saying. I swear to God, Witchy, everything with you gravitates towards text. Every single in this week, I've been in 2 meetings with you, and both times, what was it we were saying in the last one? You were the one who called. You can't say it until it. Cunt. Oh, I Oh my God! His name was Kunst, and I was talking in a hurry. See? Kunst.
I wonder how long it will be before the advertisers actually get this sussed and you get an advertisement to watch whilst you try and figure out the capture.
His name was Recaptcha.
That's clever, Mel. Damn you for suggesting that. That's what we'll see next now.
I find it just as bad half the time with passwords and things. You know, there are some trusted sites I go to that I expect to get into, you know, every few minutes almost. And, you know, they've got a box and they say, remember password. And then they sort of keep me logged in for 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. And then you go there 5 minutes later and you've got to go through the whole rigmarole again.
Yes.
A password. And, you know, it's just slowing down. You know, it's getting in the way of getting anything done, to be honest.
Yeah,
I have one where
the browser remembers.
Sorry, Phaylen, say again.
Oh, no, I agreed. I said, yes, it does. Slows down the process.
I have a problem with remembering passwords, and particularly for paying for things online, where they have you have to do verification through your bank, and it comes up with this little box with your bank on, and it has all your details on, and it says remember your password. Well, of course, I'm rubbish, and every time I use that particular thing, it's a website when they use, you know, you have to verify with your bank. And every time I do it, I've completely forgotten what the password is. It doesn't matter how many times I write it down, but it won't. When you have to put it in again and say you've forgotten your password. So then you have to wait for it to send you an email so that you can go back in and put in a new password, which I'll probably make a new one. It says, "Oh, you can't use that. You've used that before." And I'm thinking, how do you know I've used that before? You know, if I
stores them.
A finite amount of passwords I can remember, and I couldn't remember that one, so I'm going to make a new one, which I'm going to completely forget the minute that I put it in. and every time, I don't know, I must have done it about 15 times, I forgot the password and I had to go and get a new one, and it's an absolute pain. Yeah, well, I'm a bit petrified. Well, Cotton's just said, you know, you've got the... I think I've actually got that application on the phone where so you can remember your password, but I'm so paranoid that somebody might find my iPhone and get all my passwords.
I have a terrible memory. I mean, my memory is just really bad, and I think it's getting worse as I get older. I have a notepad file on my desktop that contains all my passwords, and I'm meticulous about keeping it up to date because when I die, I want people to be able to, you know, look and see that I wasn't doing anything gross or dirty with all the time I've spent on the internet.
Right.
I don't tell anybody any of my passwords. But I don't do naughty things on the internet.
Same few passwords for just about everything. You know, so if one doesn't work, I try the other, then the other, and I've got about 4 in all, and that's it. Not a very secure person, me.
That's right. If you have dirty stuff, I think you should share it.
Unfortunately, I don't. I promised that's going to be my New Year's resolution. Is next year I'm going to be more perverted.
I should have added that to my intro, Mel. I should have got you to say the perverted.
Perverted.
Perverted Wytchwhisper.
Holy crap! Let me tell you what she can be too.
Feel free to enhance your description all you want. I don't mind.
Well, Faye brings it out of me.
You made me blush. You know what makes me blush? I couldn't believe the stuff that was coming out your face. I was sitting across from her and dying. I couldn't believe it. It.
I have been dying to come up with an intro for something that says something like "Mouth About Town." Maybe I should have used that one.
Oh my goodness, "Mouth About Town." That would be a good word.
That's a good description for some people, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah, her mouth's been everywhere.
I heard, yeah, exactly. No, it hasn't. What did I just say?
You do know, girls, that I am going to take everything you're saying and mix it into a song and put it on YouTube, don't you?
If it would totally, we'd be all banned from YouTube for Witchy's suggestive speech. But nobody can make. You know what? I would probably talk dirty too all the time if I could sound as good as she does doing it.
Yes, but unfortunately,
I don't sound good talking dirty.
The thing is if you put it on YouTube, Phaylen, I wouldn't be able to see it because I'm not in the right country, and I'd get that stupid. You're not allowed to view this YouTube video in your country. You know. Does anybody get that? That's so infuriating.
Exactly.
That really sucks. There's this comedian that I love. What's